Are you ready to get started?
Sure.
So I already did a quick mechanical thing for as a sort of pre-show. I'm going to just focus on, like, I don't know, treating this just as a normal campaign. Just try to have fun, even though we're going to be changing the rules pretty much every session. So, last time, like over a month ago at this point, you convinced Alysse's mother to let you guys go on the journey that would make you that would allow you to become adults within this culture of Mauchi, and you guys received a guide to take you across the Mauchi Highlands, which is very dangerous, as you found out when you came across a swarm of Highland ghouls, wild wind spirits that just kind of like tear through everything. And in the ensuing chaos, I believe Alysse took a couple of tears.
Yeah, I have a 4 tear and a 5 tear. Only able to take 1 action for a few days, and 2 disadvantage 2 rolls for a few days.
Couple days?
Yeah, I got real hurt. I have very bad physical stats.
I don't remember any of this.
It was bad. I rolled really bad.
You got better, right?
I'm getting better.
Couple of days?
It says for a few days. Also, I just realized you changed comfort, didn't you? And I didn't update the screenshot.
I did not actually give the proper wording to it, so it's fine. But you and I both know generally how it works, especially since as it is in its current condition is not really going to come up, and that's why it's being changed. What were the 2 things again?
2 disadvantage 2 rolls for a few days, and only able to take 1 action for a few days. A 4 and a 5.
Okay.
Elise got very hurt.
I don't think a 4 and a 5 would do a few days worth of damage. It takes a few days to recover from a 5, but the effect of it doesn't actually last for the entire duration. So I'm not. Maybe I said the wrong thing in like the heat of a moment, but the suggested 5 is speed halved until rest.
I don't know. I only remember getting hurt, and this is what I wrote down.
2 disadvantage of all rolls until recovered is a 4 thing, though. Okay. Anyway, you are being taken to Sylhaven, or guided to Sylhaven, and your guide, I believe his name is Aquas Toll, kind of half drags you by the rope that you all have tied among yourselves to keep yourself from being blown away, and he's just like half dragging the lot of you. He's kind of an older teen, kind of scruffy hair that's kind of like completely blown to one side at this point, and his what?
I didn't realize he was a teenager. I thought he was like in his 30s.
I think I've said that multiple times, in fact.
I don't remember. I have bad memory, you see.
Regardless, like older teens, like 19, sort of. Like he took his journey a few years ago. So just to remind the audience, what do y'all look like, y'all and your spirit companions, which I think are currently corporealized?
Lise is is a very slim, kind of short. I keep waffling on what her age actually is. I think she's 14. Year old, and you can see she is visibly disabled. Her legs are, you can tell from looking at her, they're non-functioning. And her spirit companion is, it looks like a tiger made of lilacs.
Which she's currently riding.
Yes.
And Manny, what does your character look like?
Never really got around to thinking what he looked like. I was more focused on the spirit companion. And just scruffy, mid to late teens. Or 13 or 14, something like that. I think what's her name is Ellie's character is a little older, like a year. And he's just a scruffy teen, dark skin, black hair, muscly, but not too muscly because he's just a teenager. And it's gross if they have a bunch of muscles. Yeah, just like a scruffy teen. He has that face though.
He has that face.
He has that face.
This face right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. And the spirit companion?
Looks like a pangolin. Pangolins are like armadillos, but with like more scaly looking things. His is more like, his scales look more like rock or shale with like moss covering them.
Alright. So you get to the tree line, and Aquas kind of holds his hand up, or Toll holds his hand up, and like, we have to make sure we pass by the right trees.
The right trees?
Yeah.
As opposed to the left ones?
No, as opposed to the angry ones that will tear your, that will pull you under their roots and suffocate you.
Oh, I see.
Every tree in this forest has its own spirit companion. It's more alive than most forests. That's the one. It points to a giant tree with its roots above the ground, just kind of like seeping, just kind of basically like a mangrove tree, although this isn't a particularly swampy area, but it does have above ground roots twisting up into a very angular windswept tree. It's like, all right, go past this tree. This is one of they call him the guardian tree. He looks around as though expecting to see something. He's like, doesn't seem particularly active right now.
Alysse just kind of looks around and like waves at no one.
Hi trees, I'm gonna wave too.
Okay. Okay. We got this. He is going to try to make a nature check. If anyone has anything that could do to help him out, that would probably be a good idea.
Here's my character sheet.
Coordinate!
Coordinate. So in coordinate, you roll.
That one also changed, didn't it? I need to update this character sheet.
The main thing that changed is that it doesn't have any resistance.
Okay.
And the maximum you can target is PL, I think.
Okay.
Would
So-
awareness or insight work?
Awareness could work. That could give it an advantage. As a general help action, you can just kind of give him an advantage, just one though, without really having to make a roll. You can just say, "I helped."
Hold on. I help.
Wow, you did not show up on stream at all.
Oh. I help.
Because this is a spirit check, it's 3 and below, right?
Yes.
So 3 effort from me, which means he has 3 advantages.
Okay. I see a 4. I wasn't paying attention to the actual.
I am incorrect. My brain is not working properly. 2 advantages.
Also, I trust you, but we're just gonna work through everything. Why 3 dice?
PL times 2, which means there should have been way more than that.
Should have been 4.
Should have been 4, plus 1 per pack leader.
Okay. So you could have done this. Could have made sense, because if you did it only costing 1 will point. Because remember, you don't have to go to the max.
Yeah, we're gonna say that.
Cool.
That's what happened.
You only spent 1 will point on that then.
I only spent 1 will point.
I'm a little rusty on how to play this, so please forgive me if I feel a little, if I look a little foolish.
Okay, that was good. He rolled a tie and then did a reroll and got a success. So, so he leads you by a bunch of trees, and there is a natural sort of almost perpetual twilight. You realize that because in the day, the sun filters through the leaves, and there's some sort of spore that sometimes shakes off of the leaves, and it's like this, and it has this dull blue glow, almost, at least in the sunlight. So it actually makes the midday look like twilight, but also a very foggy twilight. And walking through it's a lot like walking through the Lost Woods in Breath of the Wild. And indeed, he's looking for specific trees and just kind of like making a careful beeline in between each tree that he knows is safe. He seems very nervous. My cousin decided to live here. He gave me the instructions. Just hope I'm following them right.
What happens if we don't?
The forest swallows us. Or maybe he was messing with me.
Cool. Alright, we're gonna hope that didn't happen.
So he leads you through the forest, and you get to the first sign that something's changed is that blue glow kind of fades a little bit, and you see just like pure sunlight ahead, just like that nice yellow shining down onto green on what appears to be what appears to be a hill. Like there's a general upward trajectory to the terrain, and you see light ahead. He kind of tilts his head around one of the trees, just like whoop. Walks forward, like, all right, walks forward a few meters, and then gestures for y'all to follow.
I tentatively follow.
The moment you do, what appears to be a woman, but with completely green skin, with just leaves plastered all along her body, steps out, and she has long hair that's like the ropes of a weeping willow, and she just kind of like steps out in between Toll and the two of you, just abruptly is just there.
Hi. Hello. Oh, goodness.
She blinks at you wordlessly, but she seems quite curious.
We're new around here?
But this is one of the sorry, this is one of the dryads of the forest. She treat her well. Just
no intention of doing otherwise. Hi.
Show something nice.
Flex. Do a flex.
I pick one of the lilacs out of Micah and hand it to her.
All right. One of y'all can make a presence appeal check, and the other one has given you an advantage on it.
My presence is pretty good.
I'm gonna give you an advantage at it because I'm not good at it.
Let me just make sure I think I have something that also does things. First impression, gain 1 advantage to appeal checks when it's the first social check. Okay, so 2 advantages, 1 from Manny and 1 from that.
Yeah, anything like... Don't you have something that gives you an extra? Or is that... Nah, whatever. I'm sure you know your character.
I mean, flatterer is another advantage, but I don't know if I'm necessarily trying to flatter her.
Okay, that's fair.
Then insight, deception, yeah. Okay. Now, I'm trying to remember this. It is gonna be... The number of dice is my presence, and it's charisma or lower, right?
Very close. It is 1 more die than your presence.
Right. That's not a weird thing to wrap your head around. My brain doesn't want to. So 5, and we're going for 4 or lower.
I think you're gonna succeed in this.
With 2 advantages.
Here, just flick tool. Oh, nope. Or just pick it up, drop. Oh, that didn't work. Flick tool.
What's the flick tool?
That.
You flicked it from a 2 to a 6!
You wanna flick it?
I mean, I need to re-roll 2 of them, so...
Oh.
Cool. 2.
Against 1. So... Jeez.
Wait, hold on. A success on any presence check generates 1 additional effort. Strong impression.
So yeah, that's a 2 effort success. That's the one where if you fail, it also...
It adds a resistance, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so yeah, you do that, and she kind of like tentatively takes the flower, looks up at you, smiles a little bit, and then sees Guy just flexing in the background, and she kind of giggles. Spirits don't really... They can make sound. They just can't, like, speak language. So she does actually give a little giggle. And she, like, turns and kind of, like, scurries away, and then she stops a few meters out, and, like, turns back and just kind of, like, waves her hand.
Something tells me we're supposed to follow her?
Yeah.
Probably the first nice gesture we've seen in this forest so far.
That's how the Sylhaven exists. They tend to the trees in the area, and the dryads, so that the dryads will like them. Pissing off. Sorry.
They're very pretty.
Some of them. He kind of looks around a little bit. All of them, of course. I'm a little uncomfortable in forests. I tend to be worried that I might set something on fire.
That makes sense.
So yeah, probably best I keep keep cider.
I feel more at home here.
So you follow the dryad?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She leads you into the clearing, which you realize is actually the top of the hill is relatively flattened, but it is actually mostly covered over, almost like a gazebo, with 5 giant pillars that turn out to be tree trunks, and with a few smaller trees around. But for the most part, the leaves of those trees overhead are so broad and wide that the trees push around an almost wall around this clearing. Nonetheless, there is actually quite a bit of sunlight, like natural sunlight, shining through, as if the tree branches of the larger trees have moved to accommodate bringing in natural light to the lower areas. And there are buildings on top of the hill, and there are branches growing out of the larger trees at like perfect lengths, perfectly offset to climb up naturally, along with some. You can see that there are vine elevators to bring things to higher elevations. It appears that everything here, the dryads have worked with the humans to grow into a society as opposed to being built.
Wow.
Neat.
Welcome to Sylhaven. A kid with bare feet kind of like traipses up to you. He's like, "Welcome to our home. I am Aaron, and I am told to greet all travelers."
Well, hello, Aaron. I'm Alysse.
Your spirit's so pretty.
Thank you. Micah just kind of like leans over and nuzzles him. Which isn't the most pleasant feeling in the world, but...
Yeah, she laughs a little bit, like... What bring...
I'll be right back.
Okay. What brings you to our fair home?
We're starting our journey and hoping to go to... I don't remember the name of the country we're going to.
You guys wanted to go to... Keeps doing that. Ha ha. Let my voice rest a bit. Musfultan is the country.
We're going to be making our way to Musfultan, so we wanted to stop here first.
Oh. That's cool. Do you want food or rest or...
I think the answer is yes.
Oh. Because they're the same place.
Oh, well, fantastic.
Aquas is kind of like... It's quite clear that Aquas is one of those people that does not have patience for kids. He's just like...
Would you mind taking us there? We had a bit of a hard time getting through the downs, and I just kind of point and look down at what I'm sure are quite a few scrapes and bruises around me.
Okay. And she like leads you to the nearest of the 5 large trees that are surrounding the crest of this hill. Huh. Are you... She looks at the things and then she looks at you like, do you want to take the elevator? It's meant for stuff, not people, but people still ride it.
What's the alternative? Micah's pretty good with stairs.
Oh, okay. We can take the stairs.
I'd like to think Micah's pretty good at stairs.
Yeah, Mike can handle stairs. Doesn't mean the kid knew that though. So you guys troop up, and there is a alcove in the tree. In fact, pretty much there are two types of buildings as you go up. Like every 10 to 12, 15 feet along around the tree, you have either a building where the branches widen out and then like weave together to form a platform, or you have ones that are in the tree where an alcove forms, and it kind of alternates more or less between the two. They're very directly facing each other.
Interesting.
So it's actually more like every 5 feet upward there's another building that's just, it alternates between one outside and one inside. I'll drop you more frames. And the one on the inside appears to be the classic tavern inn. Okay. It's pretty cramped, to be honest. There's only 3 tables on the inside, not including the bar.
Would it make more sense to decorporealize Micah and go around on her wheelchair?
At this point, yes.
And she does so.
Yeah. There's only 3 tables. 2 of them are already filled, as well as half the bar.
All right. Well, we mosey up to the one that isn't filled.
Be with you in a moment.
Take your time. We're good.
And actually, I will be back in just a moment. The bartender appears to still be busy at the bar. Most incongruous sight you've seen so far. A penguin waddles up to you, or what looks like a penguin. Just kind of like, it does have a sort of earthy yellow and brown color scheme to it, but it is unmistakably that fat, flightless bird look to it. And it has like just a sheaf of parchment in one hand, like just laying against its flipper, and its flipper is curled around a quill with a reservoir for it to write. And it's just like, comes up to you and goes,
oh goodness. Maybe some cider all around and whatever's on the stove for dinner?
And like, so the bartender looks up like, you can't actually write anything. I've told you. Oh, whatever. I heard you.
Thank you.
It waddles back.
Oh my god, the visual.
Well, and as there's eventually I actually totally forgot. I would make a terrible waiter. What'd you say?
Cider and whatever's on the stove for dinner.
All right, and the cider is very easy to do. They have a lot of apples in this place.
Also, it was hard not to default to like the D&D standard for ale. It's like, 14. Not go with ale.
I mean, not unusual in older cultures, to be honest.
True.
However, you are not legally an adult, so that's the difference here. It's like, I don't really care about your age. Yeah. You were eventually brought some drinks. The food is not hot, interestingly. They just kind of, but they do bring you a nice fruit and yogurt bowl. very, very much on the fruity side, on the plant side of things, plant and basically things that they don't have to rely too much on fire for. All right, Manny.
I am quietly here.
In a tavern in a tree.
With a penguin waiter.
Neat.
Yeah.
I miss all the fun stuff.
Yeah. It tried to write down your order, and then its host reminded him that he can't write.
Is he gone? Did he get the drinks?
He's bringing you drinks right now. So he sets in front of you a fruit and yogurt bowl and some apple cider.
It just occurred to me. You're a penguin. It's a spirit companion? Or is it an actual penguin?
I'm not sure you guys would even know what a penguin was, actually. So, but yeah, the Aquas is just like, of course it's a spirit companion.
You seem a little lost in the trees.
I think those
wings don't look very strong to carry yourself.
I think he's our waiter.
Oh. I kind of tuned everything out. I was a little in my own little world there for a moment.
Well, as soon as we get some food in us, we do need to find someone who can help your leg. I'm not really big on the whole fixing people thing.
Food's good though. Food's good for the soul and the spirit companions.
So you guys have some very good fruit and yogurt and some incredible apple cider.
Heck yeah.
And this is a space that is kind of hard for Alysse to navigate because either she's on Micah, who is too big to really navigate, or she is in a wheelchair, which is less problematic, but still a wheelchair. So,
I think at one point, like after one too many accidental run-ins, like with a corner or almost falling off one of the railways or something, she just kind of like gestures at Guy and just kind of moves him over in front of her, and then does a little like kip up on her wheelchair and just grabs onto Guy and piggybacks. You're carrying me now.
Ooh, strength training. And I do that like weird lunging thing that people do. I assume is for exercise.
Yeah. So afterwards, you do find a healing house. It's at the base of the trees because it's easier than trying to carry really injured people up the trees. Dropping so many frames. That's kind of weird. Okay, that's not.
A video popped up on something I was looking at. I might have been my bad.
I don't think that's it. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a ton of frames. It's just 1% of our frames. You find the healer there is you have a practical healer and someone with you have a natural healer and a water spirit healer there. The water spirit healer charges a bit more. This does cost money. We're not keeping super close track of it, but at the same time, I think I'm going if you go with the more expensive one, I'm going to mark it in case for later. Just.
I think it's probably a good idea to go with the more expensive one and try to get more healed up faster, because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay. And the water spirit is... Okay. So you're actually gonna roll for your tears. It's going to start. It is an expert. So the lower tear is a 1 DR and the higher tear is a 3 DR. So which one do you want to work on first?
Let's do the 3.
Okay. She said 3.
I'm sorry.
And we wrote.
That was not a good roll.
Oof.
This is one of those rolls where I wanted it to be higher, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
And I rolled terribly. So you pay for the service, and it goes so badly that it that she like. So you're filled like the water spirit, which is this kind of line of ducklings, surrounds you, and from each of the ducks, water flows out and pours, and then kind of moves up over your body, since that was a failure, the tear value increases by 1/3 resistance. So that tear value goes from a 5 to a 6. Yeah, it like she misreads the wound, and it kind of the water when it goes up to envelop over the wound actually pushes into it and just opens it up a little bit. So, oh shit! Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
What are you doing there?
That hurt a lot. Okay. Can I have my money back?
Yes, of course. I'm so. You want me to tend the rest? I can tend the rest of your wounds free of charge too.
Yes, please.
She can only attempt that on each tear once per day. So.
I don't think she's gonna want to do that again.
All right. So for this other one, just roll 1d6.
So what does this? Do I need to worry about it being a 6? What does a 6 tear mean?
Honestly, nothing. With 5 to 6 doesn't really mean it doesn't like change the effect of it. If it had gone from a 6 to basically from an even number to an odd number, then the time would have gone up, and maybe the difficulty would have gone up. But 5 to a 6 doesn't do much. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 5.
All right, this time she succeeds. This is interesting. This is actually part of it's I'm just rolling terribly. That according to this, that reduces the tear value by the effort. So she only rolled 1 effort or 2. She rolled 2 effort.
So I have a 2 tear and a 6 tear now. So helpful. I feel so rejuvenated.
The natural healer just kind of steps forward. He's like, "Here, may I?
Please, I mean, I'm not expecting to walk again, but like a little less blood would be nice."
All right. I'm going straight to the weaker wound first. So roll another D1. Oh,
God dang it! Oop.
He is not a world-class expert, but all he's trying to do is start recovery, not. Well, he's like, he kind of takes a moment. He's like, I'll take another look at that later. He will have an advantage on it next time he does it. Let's do the 3D.
I swear to heaven.
Okay, I rolled well.
What's the flick?
Just that. Hey, success. Just to make sure success does what I think it does. Heal. Treat. Injury. Okay. So for the more extreme wound, you're going to roll for how long it's going to persist, which I believe... Oh, come on. What just happened? My computer just did something weird. No?
Did we lose the stream?
I don't think we lost the stream. We did not lose the stream. Okay. We're down to 0 viewers, but we did not lose the stream.
According to mine, it says 2.
Ah. Now it's mine says 4. It's all over the place. Anyway, let me... This is not what I wanted, computer. I'm just trying to find out how long it... How much effort did he generate?
I don't know.
How much did you roll?
I rolled 3 fours,
So 0. Alright, so 3. That's good. Okay. And that was the one that's now 2? No. That was a 6. So roll a d6. That's how many days it's going to do. However, since you rolled 3 effort, we're going to subtract it by 3 to a minimum of 1. So in 2 days, that tear is going to be gone. And that's the healing minigame. You have things that reduce the tear value, and then you have things that can start recovery, and then how well it does that can alter how long that recovery takes. Why is it not? There we go. Anyway. Just for simplicity's sake, we'll say before you leave, he comes, you go back to him. He does it again. I'm just gonna... Okay, that's a 1. So roll a d6 minus 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay. Before you leave, he manages to heal your weaker wounds too. Those recover within an hour after your second visit with him. Actually, yeah.
Oh god, I just did something weird to the formatting of my sheet.
Okay. All right. So that's how recovery works. I need to figure out how natural recovery works, because I feel like you shouldn't rely on just people healing you. But yeah. Aquas is like, yeah. So you're kind of like sitting in the tavern again with Aquas. He's like, all right, so I can't lead you past this point, but you can get someone to lead you to through the forest. But once you're outside the forest, you got to be on your own.
Okay. I guess it's time to find the forest guy.
Hey, can you write a note to your mother saying I did a good job?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. Not a problem.
How much money you got?
Alysse finds a piece of parchment and quill and writes the most ridiculously grandiose letter of recommendation.
Can we
Just
write
like-
on that to be on a leaf?
Completely overplaying all he did for us in the downs, and like he brought her back from like just absolute and utter BS that her mom would see through in a moment, but like her mom really would tell, yeah, no, he did a good job.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you know the mom's gonna frame it too.
It's gonna be like, it's like you don't want you don't want managers to be on the guy, so you give him a 5-star, even though it was really more of a 4-star sort of thing.
Yeah, basically.
Always do 5 stars. Those people live and die by the stupid system.
Cheers.
Unless they're terrible, then you give them a 1 and then you complain.
All right, so you guys have a couple of days in Sylhaven. Your journey does not begin until you get to the other side of the forest. What would you like to do?
Find a forest guide to get us through the border, and also like sightsee.
Yep.
Did
So
I-
hey,
did I-
sorry.
I was just gonna say, did I tune out what's his name not gonna join us?
Once you guys start the journey, you guys cannot be with any adult. Like you guys.
For one, I thought it was weird that we were gonna have a person with us. And two, I didn't think he was gonna leave. So that's fine. That's fine. We'll die, but it's fine.
He's when you take the journey, you can take the journey with other children taking the journey, but you cannot travel with adults. Because then you're not proving yourself. But it doesn't count until you get out of the country proper. And Mauchi is one of the most dangerous countries, so you kind of need a guide, ironically, in the tutorial area more than anywhere else. Because of my weird world building. Alright. There isn't a ton of sightseeing to do in Sylhaven. It is not that big of a place. It's basically one big hill. And although there are places outside of that immediate gazebo-like circle that are safe to go to, you quickly learn that there's a pretty hard line between the nice dryads and the really mean dryads. And sometimes you see them like having arguments with each other and slap fights.
Interesting. Is there a preferred gift that they would accept if we find another one? Like something you can buy or something we could find?
I mean, they like to have their tree roots. They like to have the like dead leaves pruned and their tree roots kind of like cleaned, and then like the dead leaves like placed like more evenly scattered around them. They like to be cared for mostly. That's what you learn by asking around. In fact,
I'm gonna leave the pruning to someone else because I feel like I'll cut something they don't want cut off.
Yeah. In fact, if someone wants to make an asking questions investigate check, hey, you can learn more details about that sort of thing.
Sure. I'm not trained, but sure.
Yeah, this is a fairly easy check because it's common knowledge around here. It's just a matter of like not being a weirdo about it.
All right, I have not done this in a while, so I need to find what talent it's associated with, right?
Yeah, and asking questions is charisma.
Charisma. So I have 3 in that. Do I roll 3 or do I add 1 to it?
No, that's not what you're rolling. That's what you want to get. Now you want to go to your investigate skill and roll 1 more than that.
Okay, that's just a 1.
Oh, you have a 1 in it? Or
no, I have a 0. It would be 1 altogether.
Okay.
I thought I was clear on that, but apparently not. And I succeed.
Well, no, you tied because it was a 1. It was a easy difficulty, which was 1 die, and I rolled in resistance.
I have failed you.
You learn that there is a system in place for taking care of the dryads and the trees. You don't really learn the details of that system. People are a little off-put by your earnestness. Put it that way. So, yeah, you learn the general nature that there is a way in which the trees are taken cared for by the city, by the village itself. But you don't really learn what that is or what that means.
Neat.
All right. What do you do to find a guide?
Scream until someone finds us. Scream out, "Hey, we need a guide." Not me.
Barkeep.
Okay.
While still patting a little earthing on it.
Yeah, you can roll asking questions for that too, or I suppose an appeal check could work for this. Depends on how you approach it. Are you literally just kind of like mechanically asking questions, or do you like ask him about his life and then kind of ease into it?
No, I just walk up, order a drink, and say, "Hey, we need a guide to the border. Who would you recommend?"
Alright, so that's an investigate check.
Three.
He's a little grumpy. All right, two effort success. It's like, well, we have a few different guides. I think honestly, the best place you want to ask, you want to start asking are. I forgot the word I had for it. You actually might want to ask one of the one of the younger acolytes.
What's an acolyte? How do I find them?
The acolytes are the ones who are in training to take care of the trees, but they are not. But they haven't gone on their journey yet. But they are required to both learn to communicate with the trees and to know the lay of the land a bit. You might actually find a traveling companion there.
I was about to say, if we could find the guide that's an acolyte, they could take us to the border and then come with us, and then bring us back.
We can find a new friend?
Heck yeah!
A rival!
Okay.
Rivals. Friend rivals. Rivals.
So where would we find these books?
They keep early hours. Looks around like they are probably breaking for lunch. It's like 9 a.m.
Good heavens, that's okay. Where?
Mostly the edge trees. So go to this circle around the city, and don't around the village. And just make sure you don't go too far. They mostly wear brown robes. Very noticeable.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
And I just because I assume this entire time because of how weird the traversal is, I've just been on Guy's back. And like I say thank you, and I just kind of tap the side of Guy's forehead. Like, okay, let's go.
I just like holding her. I put my other arm in the air, fist pump, and it's like, yeah, let's go do this. And I go running off in a random direction.
So fast.
I forgot you're on my back.
All right, and Aquas is going to. He actually left that morning, so like you guys already said your farewells to him, and he left. He said it'll be fine. Probably.
Goodbye, Master. I love you.
Not
we'll
your
see
master.
you again someday.
No, you're not your master. All right. I know it's a very short session, but I'm actually kind of want to do something, and I want to try to codify some of the changes we made.
Also, is there a possibility of this?
I know it's been short, but I want to do stuff.
Basically, I want to change some things before we do it, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. See Manny on Sunday, see me on Monday, and probably another one of these next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Z's.